What would happen if Rock Lee opened the 8th gate in Boruto? How powerful would he become, and which characters would he be able to fight against?
Okay, that sounds like something interesting to watch, so let's go ahead and watch it.
This is the question we're gonna be answering in this video, but before that, subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoy my content. There are two ways to approach this what-if scenario. The first way is to assume that Lee wouldn't be nerfed like every single character that came from Naruto Shippuden was nerfed in Boruto.
Okay, look, this needs to stop, bruh. They are not nerfed, they're just fighting more powerful villains. The villains that they're fighting are more powerful than the villains in the Shippuden series. Like, the abilities that they have would be pretty much useless against the villains in Boruto because most of the villains in Boruto can absorb jutsu or just negate it. For example, you can't have Sasuke using Amaterasu on someone like Momoshiki because Momoshiki can just absorb it, amplify it, and then throw it back at them. Like, if Sasuke did something like that, he would be fucking retarded, and I don't think he would do that because he's not that retarded. So they are not actually nerfed, they're just fighting characters who are more powerful than them, and to add to that, the abilities that they have are just not useful against those characters. So yeah, it's not really a nerf.
And the other scenario would be to assume that Rock Lee would be nerfed just like Naruto, Sasuke, all that. It is also good to establish a point in the story where Lee would maybe open the 8th gate where it makes sense, and the only thing I can think of is when Ishiki came down to the Leaf Village and attacked everyone. In the anime, I think he even fights Ishiki for a while. I don't know exactly because I don't watch the Boruto anime. I have better things to do with my life, but
yeah, I'm with him on that one. The anime is kind of trash, bruh. I don't watch it either.
But this is probably the point where Lee would open the 8th gate. Let's assume that Naruto and Sasuke are not in the Leaf Village for whatever reason, and Lee is the last line of defense against Ishiki. So he opens the 8th gate, and he goes to town. First scenario, let's assume Rock Lee isn't nerfed like every character. Rock Lee destroys Ishiki in 0.3 seconds. Rock Lee destroys Ishiki in 0.3 seconds. Rock Lee destroys Ishiki in 0.3 seconds.
Oh, wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
It's not even fun because Ishiki is actually pretty slow. He doesn't hit very hard. I mean, when he hits Sasuke as hard as he can and he stomps Sasuke's face, he opens like a minor crater on the ground. And when Guy was punching Madara with the 8th gate, he was like doing a lot of damage to the surrounding areas. So Might Guy is just way stronger and faster than Ishiki ever was.
No, he's not, bruh. Every single 6-pass character is much faster than Guy, with the arguable exception of Jubito and pre-God Tree Madara. Everybody else is just faster than him, but I'm waiting for his arguments so that I can debunk him as quickly as I can.
I mean, seriously, what is Ishiki gonna do? Shrink Rock Lee? No, he can't, because Rock Lee is a living thing. He can't shrink living things. He doesn't have any means to defend himself against an Evening Elephant bombardment. Madara had the truth-seeking orbs, but Ishiki literally only has one jutsu, which is the shrinking jutsu. Lee would be able to avoid him unshrinking the rods and blitz Ishiki from all sides, just like he did to Jubidara, and Lee can actually punch Ishiki because he won't have the truth-seeking orb, so he can actually make contact with him, which is even worse. Lee would also be able to fly by kicking the air, just like Guy did against Jubidara, so Ishiki being able to fly wouldn't make a difference for Lee. And if you're saying, oh, Ishiki speed blitzes Rock Lee with the 8th gate, if Ishiki wasn't able to react to Boruto being transformed into a sword, then no, he cannot react to the 8th gate Rock Lee. There's no way.
I really hate how DygoKnight misrepresented what happened in the manga just to make his arguments sound better. This man completely ignored all the context just to make Ishiki look bad, and I'm going to provide you with the context because the reason why he did that is because if he told you everything and gave you all the context, his argument would just fall apart immediately. So I'm going to provide you with the context behind it, and here we go. So Boruto transformed into a sword to trick Ishiki, and when he transforms back into himself, Ishiki looks at him and he's like, okay, What's a kid like you going to do anyway? So clearly Ishiki is underestimating Boruto. He doesn't think Boruto is going to do anything to him, so he just stands there and waits for him to do whatever it is he wants to do. So when Boruto uses the portal on him, you can see that Ishiki is actually shocked. He didn't think Boruto would be able to do that. This is supported by the fact that when they get to this other dimension, Ishiki clearly asks himself, okay, I didn't think Boruto was able to use this karma that much. He didn't think Boruto's karma progressed that far, so he was visibly shocked, which means he was actually caught off guard when Boruto did that. So saying that Ishiki couldn't react to Boruto because he's on Boruto level is just being dishonest, and I really hate it when people do that. Another thing is that this guy's whole argument is that Ishiki is slower than 8 Gates guy because he couldn't react to Boruto. But even if that was the case, even if Ishiki couldn't react to Boruto because Boruto was faster than him or anything, for that argument to work, you would first have to link Boruto to 8 Gates guy. So you would have to prove that 8 Gates guy is faster than Boruto, which I know you can't do considering that your IQ is like that of a fetus. Also, by the end of this video, I'm going to prove why Ishiki is just faster than 8 Gates guy. So if I do that, if I prove that Ishiki is faster than 8 Gates guy, then it wouldn't be an anti-feat for Ishiki, it would actually be a feat for Boruto. So your argument just doesn't stand, it's retarded.
He's also faster because he was literally bending space-time, and Guy was the only character that's ever done that in Naruto. He was so fast that he bent space-time around him.
Okay, I'm sick and tired of this argument and I'm going to debunk it right the fuck now, bruh. Bending space and time doesn't mean Guy is faster than everyone in the verse just because nobody else did that. I'm going to give an example with Barry Allen, aka The Flash from the CW TV show. The Flash in Season 1 was nowhere near the speed of light. He ran so fast that he bent space and time and literally opened a portal back to the past. But guess what? He was running at the speed of fucking sound. The speed of sound is way too slow compared to that of KCM Naruto, for example, who's close to the speed of light. The Raikage is there to be close to the speed of light, and yet he doesn't bend space-time. And yet Barry Allen, when he was running at the speed of sound, was able to bend space to the point where he actually time traveled. So bending space and time doesn't necessarily mean you're fast. It just means you bend space and time. This argument is fucking retarded.
Madara was barely able to react. He could just raise his staff, and that was pretty much what he could do. And we all know that Jubidara is far superior to Ishiki in every single regard.
I think I noticed a pattern with this guy. He likes to make some really retarded statements, and then he acts like everybody would agree with him. That's why he says we all know that Ishiki is inferior to Madara in any way. My nigga, nobody actually thinks that. It's just you and some fucking retards. I'm not surprised that you think that, considering the fact that your entire video was just ass and you made some really bad arguments. So yeah, you thinking that is not much of a surprise because you're retarded, but any intelligent person out there would tell you Ishiki was shit on Madara in every single way.
So yeah, if Rock Lee isn't nerfed in Boruto, he would destroy Ishiki in 0.2 seconds.
You serious?
And then he would die because that's what the 8th gate does. Lee would probably try to punch Ishiki in a way that he would just fly off the village, and then he wouldn't destroy the Leaf village while he is attacking Ishiki. It wouldn't be much of a problem. Sure, there would be some collateral damage, but Ishiki would be destroyed. Now let's assume that Rock Lee is nerfed with the 8th gate, just like Sasuke and just like Naruto. Because if we assume Rock Lee is nerfed to the same degree Naruto and Sasuke were, then Rock Lee is probably going to be 90% weaker than Might Guy was when he fought Jubidara with the 8th gate.
Wait, so he's suggesting that Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed to the point where they are 90% weaker? This shit is funny, bruh.
I mean, I'm assuming here that Rock Lee would probably be a Jonin equivalent to Might Guy in his prime. But the thing is, Might Guy in part 1 in base was able to punch and destroy walls pretty easy with no effort whatsoever. And then we see that Damon, which is currently literally the strongest character in the Naruto universe that we know of that's alive, he cannot kick through a wall. He just cracks the wall. Base Guy in part 1 is more powerful than the most powerful Boruto character, so you have to see that this is a pretty massive nerf to every single character and to the power in the entire verse.
First of all, you have to prove that Damon was going all out and using his absolute maximum power into that kick, which I know you can't prove. And also, Damon wasn't actually trying to punch through a wall, he was just kicking someone as... you can't even prove that he was kicking him as hard as he could. He just might not be going all out. So that's just a bad argument. And also, having more destructive power doesn't necessarily mean you are stronger overall. An example I can give is KCM2 Naruto versus 8 Gates Guy. KCM2 Naruto literally has a Biju Dama, which is a lot stronger than anything Guy has in terms of destructive power, and yet we know for a fact that 8 Gates Guy would probably shit on him. So having more destructive power doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger overall, so that's just a bad argument.
But let's roll with it. Let's assume that Rock Lee is nerfed to the same extent here. It would be very difficult for Rock Lee because he wouldn't be very fast. We know Sasuke was very fast once, but now he can't react to anything. He just gets kicked around. Pretty sad, actually.
Let me think. Could it be because he's fighting characters who are stronger than him?
Yeah, Rock Lee wouldn't win this fight because he would probably be as fast as someone like Part 1 Naruto when he was fighting against Sasuke in the Valley of the End. That would probably be Rock Lee's speed with the 8th gate in Boruto if they're keeping the level of nerfs consistent with the other characters. I can imagine the fight. Lee would try to hit Ishiki, but Ishiki would use his jutsu to increase like a cube around Lee, and he would look at the cube and he would say, "Oh no, the cube's gonna crush me!" And then he's too slow to avoid the cube falling on him with the amazing speed granted by the acceleration of gravity, which is 9.8 meters per second square. Not very fast, but...
Oh, we just learned something new about DygoKnight, and that's the fact that he doesn't understand physics. So let me educate him on this one. 9.8 meters per second squared is not speed, it's acceleration. Acceleration is the rate at which speed increases. For example, if I increase my speed at 10 meters per second every single second, that's acceleration. It doesn't mean I'm traveling at 10 meters per second. It just means my speed goes up 10 meters per second every single second. That's why there's the second squared in the unit of acceleration is an increase in speed, the rate at which an object's speed increases. It's not the rate at which the object covers a distance in a given amount of time, which that is speed. So acceleration is not speed. You're confusing acceleration with speed. Those cubes do not travel at 9.8 meters per second squared. Gravity is going to accelerate them at 9.8 meters per second squared, but that doesn't mean they travel at 9.8 meters per second. Because you know why? That's acceleration, not speed.
8th gate Lee wouldn't be able to dodge that, and then he would get crushed, and then he would try to punch the cube away, and then he would eventually do so, but then Ishiki would come and spawn one of those metal rods, and then Lee would get hit by them, and then he would be, "Oh, Naruto, Sasuke, come back, save the village, you're the only chance we have, and I'm sorry, Guy Sensei," and then he dies with a smile on his face, or something like that. It would be pretty humiliating, like they're humiliating every single interesting character in the series, like Naruto and like Sasuke. Sasuke is gonna die within 10 chapters. I want you guys to comment below how many more chapters is Sasuke going to survive Boruto. We are in chapter 74 right now. I wager he's gonna be dead by chapter 84. In a sense, it's kind of nice that the only characters that they are destroying in Boruto are Naruto and Sasuke, because the other characters like Rock Lee and all that, they don't have any screen time, so they cannot be ruined. Shikamaru has some screen time, so he is being ruined, unfortunately. And just like any other character, Shikamaru gets a very heavy nerf to his intellect, essentially. He is dumb in Boruto.
I don't think Shikamaru was nerfed in any way. In fact, I think he's actually been impressive in Boruto. You know, I think DygoKnight just hates the Boruto series just because it's different from Naruto. I mean, I was kind of guilty of this, so I will admit to that, but then I realized, yeah, it's a different thing. They are trying to make it different from Naruto, because otherwise we would have like repetitive moments, like fights would be like way too similar to those of Naruto, so that would be kind of boring. So I think they made it different on purpose, and I think they actually did great by doing that. Yeah, sure, the story is not as engaging to me as Naruto was, but it's still doing its own thing, and I like it for that. I don't like the anime. I think the anime is trash, but the manga is pretty good so far, and I just think DygoKnight hates it just because he hates Boruto for no reason. Like, so far the only reasons I've heard him give was like characters are nerfed, characters are ruined, but he doesn't tell you how those characters are ruined. He just makes some pretty trash power scaling and then he leaves it at that. But anyway, let's continue.
You can imagine that Rock Lee wouldn't be very physically powerful if he were to fight. Just keep Rock Lee out of Boruto entirely. Leave him alone. Don't use Rock Lee. Don't make him open the 8th gate and die for no reason. And don't make Rock Lee fight a 5-year-old robot that can stomp the entire universe because of reasons.
Hashirama is the only one who naturally has wood style because reasons, I guess. Madara is the only one who can use limbo because reasons, I guess. Itachi is the one who has the Tosca blade and the Yara mirror because reasons, I guess. The Terminator was stronger than the humans because reasons, I guess. Like, bruh, that's just a shitty thing to say. Like, Damon is just that strong. The guy is really strong. That's just how it is. If you don't like it, go cry in your bedroom like a little bitch. Damon is just that strong.
Please don't humiliate Rock Lee. He wasn't treated very well in Naruto Shippuden already. He doesn't deserve to be desecrated in Boruto. Kill Sasuke. You have to kill him because you set that up. It's fine. I mean, I don't even like Sasuke anymore because he doesn't know any jutsus. He knows how to use Amino Kara, and that's the only jutsu he uses now, even though he has like 700 jutsus in his arsenal.
Okay, let's look at Sasuke's abilities and see if they would be effective against Ishiki. Let's start with something everybody knows that he has, and that is the Chidori. The Chidori is not gonna do shit against Ishiki. The Chidori doesn't have any AP to scale to the perfect Susanoo, at least as far as I'm concerned. Jigen, who's weaker than Ishiki, was able to punch through a fucking perfect Susanoo, and he did that effortlessly. In order for you to punch through something, you need to be able to take the same amount of force, otherwise your body would just get destroyed when you try to punch through it. Case in point, try to punch through a fucking wall, you get your hand like broken or something. So in order for you to punch through something, you need to take the same amount of force. If Jigen can take the same amount of force that can punch through a fucking Susanoo, and not just a Susanoo, a perfect Susanoo, then Jigen is durable enough to tank a fucking Chidori. And if Jigen can tank a Chidori, Ishiki, who is stronger than him, should be able to tank it too. So no, the Chidori is not gonna do shit. Now let's talk about Genjutsu, since he brings up Genjutsu. Sasuke doesn't really fight with Genjutsu that much. I don't think he's that good with Genjutsu. Case in point, when he fought Naruto in the last fight in Shippuden, he never, not even once, thought of using Genjutsu, so that's just a Sasuke thing. He doesn't try Genjutsu at all. So yeah, that whole Genjutsu thing is not gonna work, and Ishiki would probably break free from it, but I can't say that for sure. But I'm just gonna say Sasuke doesn't really try Genjutsu most of the time. And as for Amaterasu, we literally see Jigen just negate it. He absorbs it with his karma. And then when Ishiki comes back to life, he shrinks all the flames around him instantly. So he doesn't have to absorb Amaterasu. He can just shrink it like he did with the flames from Mount Myoboku. I think they were from Mount Myoboku. I'm not sure. I don't remember well. But yeah, Amaterasu is not gonna work. And we also see Borushiki dodging Amaterasu. I don't think, wait, did he dodge? Oh wait, he didn't dodge it. He actually reacted by creating a clone, and the clone actually took the Amaterasu. So Ishiki, who's far stronger than that, should be able to just dodge it, you know, because it's not that fast. Even the fucking Raikage was able to dodge Amaterasu. Now you could argue that Sasuke as an adult has a much faster Amaterasu, fine. I guess you can argue that, but Borushiki was able to react to it. I don't see why Ishiki wouldn't be able to react to it. Another thing Sasuke has is fire style. I'm not even gonna talk about that, bruh. Sasuke also has Shibaku Tensei, which is not gonna be effective at all, considering that the Biju could break free from it. Now you might say he did put the Biju in Shibaku Tensei, but to that I say, well, in order to do that, he put them in a Genjutsu first to make sure that they don't break free. I think they could break free, that's why he put them in a Genjutsu first. But even if you don't want to do that, Ishiki can literally just shrink and he can fucking teleport with his fucking portals, so that's not gonna work against him. Shibaku Tensei is not gonna do shit. And let's not talk about the other Rinnegan abilities, bruh. Let's not talk about them. In fact, let's talk about them. Okay, let's start with the fucking human path. That shit's not gonna work. We see, what's his name, Nagato struggling to yank KCM Naruto's soul out. It takes a fucking long time. So my theory is that the stronger your opponent is, the harder it is to yank out the soul, backed up by the whole Naruto thing. And to back that up even more, Shizune's soul was ripped out relatively faster than Naruto's soul was being ripped out. So yeah, I think that supports my argument that the stronger you are, the harder it becomes to yank out someone's soul. So yeah, I don't think that would work on Ishiki. And then we have the Asura path. I don't think Sasuke can use that because he hasn't shown the ability to use that. But anyway, we have the Asura path, which only launches missiles. yeah, that's not gonna do shit. And then we have the Naraka path, which summons the King of Hell. Not gonna do shit. And then we have the Dio path, Shinra Tensei, Bansho Tenin. Not gonna do shit. We literally see the nine tails, six tails form resisted, so I don't think it will be hard to say Ishiki can just resist it, and he can also just shrink and teleport. Like, that shit ain't gonna work, bruh. And then we also have the Predator path. Yeah, that one I will give it to you. I don't know why Sasuke doesn't absorb chakra to amp himself. I have no idea. Like, he could just ask Naruto, like, hey nigga, give me chakra. Like, so yeah, I don't know why he doesn't do that. But yeah, it's just how it is. I don't know, man. I can't defend that one.
It could have been very useful in very different situations during the entire manga, but he forgot all of his jutsus, including Genjutsu, which could no diff Ishiki, because Ishiki is a very bad sensory type. He couldn't sense Naruto or Sasuke or Kawaki within the village when he was in the village, so he had to ask for a random ninja, where is Naruto?
Wait, I'm confused. Like, what does sensing someone have to do with Genjutsu? I mean, there's so many ninjas out there who can sense, like, they're sensory type ninjas, and yet they can still be placed under Genjutsu. I don't get it. Like, what does being a sensory ninja or having sensory capabilities have to do with Genjutsu?
Meanwhile, nerfed Edo Tensei Madara was sensing Hashirama on the other side of the continent.
Not every character is a sensory type. Ishiki just might not be able to sense anybody. That's why he uses his Byakugan. So not everybody is a sensory type. That's why they're sensory type ninjas, you fucking retard.
But of course, Ishiki would destroy Madara because I mean, Ishiki can shrink things, and this is the most powerful ability ever seen in the Naruto universe. Nothing can stop Ishiki except for Kawaki using a shadow clone, a very obvious thing.
I don't think anybody would say that. That's not the most powerful jutsu in the Naruto universe. Shrinking stuff is not the most powerful jutsu in the Naruto universe. I don't think anybody would say that, so stop saying that. And so what? He got tricked with a shadow clone. A lot of characters in the Narutoverse are tricked by shadow clones. That's literally the point of a fucking shadow clone. Even Kaguya wasn't able to tell the difference between the real Naruto and a fucking shadow clone. Fuck, even Zetsu wasn't able to tell the difference between Naruto and his shadow clones. So I don't see the problem with that.
Or something that he couldn't sense because he is the worst sensory type character ever shown in the universe, because he cannot literally sense the chakra of the two most powerful characters in the world when he is like a mile away from them. So yeah, Limbo, GG, no diff. I should probably make these Madara versus Ishiki videos soon, because I'm definitely gonna get some comments here.
Please don't.
So yeah, but Ishiki would solo Shippuden. To summarize this video, Rock Lee without Boruto nerfs would negative diff Ishiki, and Rock Lee with Boruto nerfs would lose to Ishiki. Pretty bad, and the character would be destroyed in the process. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and thanks for watching, guys.
Instead of asking for subscribers, you should be asking for brain cells, because clearly you're lacking a lot of brain cells, my guy. So now I'm gonna do a little bit of power scaling for you. I'm not the best when it comes to power scaling, and I don't consider myself a power scaler, but there are just some things that are really obvious in the Naruto universe. A little bit of like basic power scaling that anybody can do. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now, and I'm gonna try to provide as much evidence as possible to prove why Ishiki would absolutely shit on my guy. So with that, I'm gonna start with the fight between Might Guy and Madara, which is the fight that this guy brought up a lot. People tend to overestimate Might Guy in this fight because he did manage to damage Madara a number of times. But the thing that they always tend to forget or just blatantly ignore is the fact that Might Guy had a lot of help in that fight. He got help from Lee, Gaara, Kakashi, and fucking Minato. Like, my guy would have died if Minato didn't step in and teleport those True Seeker orbs away from him. And he wouldn't have hit Madara if Kakashi didn't open a hole with Kamui in the True Seeker orb shield so that guy can hit Madara. So my guy would have failed a number of times if they didn't help him in that fight. So you can't just say my guy scales to Madara. Because of this, I would say Might Guy just scales below Madara, but they're somewhat relative. Now, this is important because Naruto, after getting 6 pairs powers in base form, sort of like base 6 pairs Naruto, he just swoops right in and he starts digging on Madara. Like, this man just started shitting on this guy. It was pathetic. I love Madara, and that was kind of painful to watch. And then Madara absorbs the he absorbs the fucking Divine Tree, and he becomes stronger because of that. And now he's stronger, and Naruto is still able to keep up with him by equipping his QB chakra. Fuck, I hate this word. His QB chakra cloak on top of his 6 pairs power. And Sasuke also steps in with his Rinnegan, and they sort of match him. Yeah, I don't want to say they match him, but I think they are kind of relative to him when they're working together, and they're kind of a little bit stronger than him because they really are pressing him. And then Madara gets his second Rinnegan, which it stated that Rinnegan are much stronger when they are a pair and they are being used by the owner. So that makes Madara even stronger. Now, the argument that I like to use, it's not really a solid argument, but I kind of like to mention it just passively. So Madara has 1 limbo with his Rinnegan, and then when he gains the other Rinnegan, he has 4 limbo clones. To me, that suggested that he got like 4 times stronger or something, but that's not really concrete, so take that as you will. So Madara got significantly stronger than he was when he fought Guy, right? And then Madara creates 4 limbo clones, which he sends to fight Naruto. Naruto fights them with his own clones, and they are sort of relative. They exchange blows and they seem to be relative. I will show that on the screen. So Naruto's clones are relative to Madara, and Madara's limbo clones are relative to the real Madara, which means Naruto is relative to the real Madara, who is way stronger than the Madara that fought Guy. So Naruto is far stronger than Might Guy. He's far faster than Might Guy. And then we are introduced to fucking Kaguya. And Kaguya is way stronger than Madara. Like, if Kaguya and Madara fought, Madara would just die. Like, there's no way he's beating Kaguya, bro. Like, yeah, sure, he stands a chance, but he would fucking lose. Like, everybody knows that. I don't think anybody would argue with that. So Naruto is still able to somewhat keep up with Kaguya during the fight, and he does speed blitz her at some point, but I think that was a mental M, so I don't want to use that as evidence. But he does react to Kaguya a number of times, and even DMS Kakashi like speed blitzes her, so yeah. They really get stronger the more they fight. They're getting used to their powers the more they fight. And then Kaguya gets sealed, and Naruto and Sasuke get to fight. And the shit they do, bruh, it seems like they're just stronger than they were when they fought Kaguya. So I don't want to say they are, but you could say they are stronger than they were when they fought Kaguya. Now Naruto and Sasuke get 15 years to get stronger. We see that Sasuke is able to use portals now, so he got used to his Rinnegan. And Naruto has the other half of the QB, so now he has the full thing, so they are much stronger than they are as teenagers. Even Sasuke thinks that he can take on like Kaguya level threats on his own or something, so yeah, they definitely did get stronger. And then Momoshiki shows up, they beat him up, and I think it's confirmed that he's stronger than Kaguya. Even though the evidence is a bit shaky, I don't like to use the statements such as Sasuke saying a threat greater than Kaguya. I don't like to use that because it's kind of a questionable statement because of what Sasuke says before that. But anyway, they are much stronger than they were when they fought the Madara that was kind of relative to 8 Gates Guy. So as adults, they're so much stronger than 8 Gates Guy, and yet Ishiki just swooped right in and started shitting on them. So Ishiki is just far stronger than 8 Gates Guy. He would whoop his ass in a second. I don't even think it would take a second. He would just blink and my guy would just fucking die. So no, DygoKnight, you are fucking retarded. You only hate the Boruto characters because you don't like the Boruto series or the Boruto manga or whatever, so you tend to downplay the characters because you don't know how to fucking power scale. Your power scaling abilities are just ass. You are trash. You need to do better, my nigga. That's all I'm gonna say about this. Now I don't want to rant anymore. I'm getting tired, and I don't want to have to edit this video. It's taking way too fucking long to edit, bruh. I'm tired. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm gonna make any videos. I think this is just gonna be the only video on my channel because I don't really know how to do anime videos. So this might be the only video on my channel for a long time, so don't expect any videos from me. I was just responding to this guy because I was kind of triggered by his idiocracy. He's just stupid. So this might just be the only video on this channel for a long time. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anime videos, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing videos like this at all. I'm just gonna stick to my film therapy channel. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm just gonna leave now. Fuck.